Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Swimming on 216, brought to you by Curo. I'm your host, Emma Prinsloo, and whether you're an Olympian or one day dreaming of becoming one, you are in the right place. Today we have amazing guests lined up for you. If you've ever wanted to become a sponsored athlete, but you have no idea where to start, I can totally relate to the struggle. Our first guest is Ray Chaplin, and he's going to be sharing some insider tips and tricks to help us level up our game on social media. I'm joined here in Stellenbosch by Ray Chaplin. Ray, you've had a very diverse background, and it's amazing to have you on Swimming on 216. Welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Emma.
We've chatted a little bit about your background, but I hear that you have an amazing story. And eventually going into sports photography and now branching into sports media. And that's kind of the topic that I want to talk to you about today. So we have an amazing viewership of young, up-and-coming, aspiring swimmers and great talent. But we want to know how to transfer that into talking about brands and sponsorships and partnerships. What are the do's and don'ts? So I'm very excited for our conversation, and thanks so much for joining me. So, like I said, navigating this world of sponsorships can be very tricky. So I'd love to hear from you what you would say the first steps would be for young up-and-coming athletes who would like to start building a digital presence. What should they do first and foremost?
My first piece of advice would be separate personal and your professional. Your image to a prospective sponsor or brand or partner or prospective university, your online profile needs to look the part of a professional.
Okay.
And if it's not looking professional, you can't expect to be treated seriously or like a professional.
Yes.
So separate personal and your athletic profiles and look after that professional profile. Share a story which people can relate to.
So not a persona, but kind of start building the more professional side of things that you'd want to face the world.
Don't look at a persona at all, because that is not sustainable.
I agree.
Be true to you through the whole thing. Persona, if you're tired, injured, then had a hard one, that falls away. And then there's inconsistency.
Okay.
And the people like, the world likes consistency.
Yeah.
They like the known.
Yeah, they like the authenticity as well. I think that's come through a lot in social media in general. And so if you look at the social media landscape and you were to talk to, say, teenagers or young swimmers, which platforms would you say they should prioritize on social media?
Instagram is definitely the one at the moment for authentic followers.
Okay.
TikTok is too viral, it's too up and down.
Sort of comes and goes.
Comes and goes. Facebook has had its place and it might make a comeback, but for now really Instagram is the place that all the brands are looking at.
Okay. And in terms of Instagram, it's jam-packed with content. Like it's quite difficult to make a distinction and to really stand out. If you could give 3 very simple and quick ways that you would recommend an Instagram user or an athlete that's on Instagram to try and make their content stand out, what would sort of just off the top of your head be those sort of the main ones you want to drive home?
The pillars of Instagram is entertainment, education, and aspiration.
Okay.
So drill down into those as to which speaks better for you. So maybe some of your more senior swimmers would be more the educational, aspirational side of things. Younger ones, have fun while you're doing it.
Yes.
It mustn't become a chore at all. Some of the swimmers I'm working with at the moment, but it's going to take me hours to do this and hours to do that, and I need to edit this whole long video. It's like, no, you don't.
Short, sweet, have fun with it.
Have fun with it, short and sweet, and be you. If you are
so
the
important.
very in-depth thinker, serious guy, carry that through. If you are the one who at the end of the race looks up the clock, sees your time and points out and goes heart to your coach,
have a little celebration.
pull that through. Be you. Just be authentic the whole way through.
So don't compare yourself as well, and kind of just stick to your own strengths.
100%. And it will grow over time. You don't want this rapid growth which then falls off and doesn't interact with you. Because your sponsors are looking at interactivity.
Yeah.
They're looking at engagement, they're looking at the likes, the comments.
I think consistency is a bit of a double-edged sword though. I know you said that, you know, it shouldn't be a chore, but sometimes trying to stay consistent when, especially when we were talking about it a little bit earlier, these kids have so much pressure on them, these swimmers are balancing like school and their training, and now they feel like social media is another thing to juggle.
Sure.
So I like the way that you think just be yourself and pull through what's already there so that it doesn't become a chore.
Don't commit to documenting your morning training before, during, after your stretch and flexibility session after school and your afternoon session. If you're trying to commit to 20 stories a day and a reel,
It's too much.
A month, 6 weeks, and you're done. Burnout happens. So start off really slow. Share the basics. The end of gala, a little bit of
Recap.
1 or 2 photos. This is how it went. Start building your story and your tale of basically how you're progressing, so that people can look back and go, sure, they've been on an amazing journey.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that history, you're kind of starting to build that story. So when I was an athlete, I didn't have an agent, and I would reach out to the brand myself, or I would hunt down their marketing agency, find an email address and shoot off an email where I would kind of introduce myself and that kind of thing. What would you suggest is the best way for athletes to get hold of brands and get in touch with them?
Don't try and start approaching brands in the first 3-4 months of being active on social. Until you've professionalized your whole online portfolio, just back
chill.
up, keep telling your story. Just because you've had one story and it's reached 10,000 people, if you're doing that weekly, then we start chatting to a brand or something like that. So for a start, tell your story. Once you start going, brands get hammered every single day.
Yeah, overwhelmed.
Brand I used to work for, we were averaging 60 to 70 emails a week.
Wow.
Unsolicited, just coming in.
Just arriving.
On top of phone
Probably
calls.
one of them was mine.
On top of phone calls and the rest. So you need to, before approaching a sponsor, why are you different to the other 50 swimmers that they've received an email from in the same month?
Okay.
So
establish yourself first and then start reaching out. And when you do feel like you are established and you've reached out, what would you draft that email? How would you sort of structure it?
First thing, and I see it regularly, they get the person's name wrong.
Oh no!
Or even mention the incorrect brand. So just copy and paste the
generic.
same. Don't be generic.
Okay.
Be very personal with it. Be super polite. Brands are looking for role models, someone that they believe is worthy of representing their brand out in public and will positively influence potential customers or potential clients. So be professional, have it well structured, have it thought out, bounce it off some friends and family first, and go, how can I improve this?
Yeah.
What can you offer? And saying, I have an Instagram account with 3,000 followers, I want free equipment for life.
The trade-off is looking a little...
Yeah, so it's finding that balance and the uniqueness for a brand.
Yeah.
Look what they are sharing on social media. What are they sharing on their website?
What stories are they telling? Yeah.
And then start looking towards a similar story or finding something that is completely different which no one is telling. And how you can be very different and offer something unique.
So there's a lot of attention to detail and there's a lot of research actually. You have to kind of do a bit of digging before put together something that shows that you have taken the time to really understand their brand and then see how and sometimes you can do all of that and realize, actually maybe I'm not the right person for this brand. Even though I love them, it might not be a good fit. And in terms of posting, for whether the parents are managing it or the athletes are managing it, what are some definite no's? Like, do not even cross this line. Avoid at all costs. This will definitely not lead to where you want to go in terms of sponsorships and brands. I'm sure there are loads, so I'm sure you're battling to choose from all the things not to do.
I think it's at the core anything that detracts from professionalism. So wild parties, unruly behavior, those are the big ones that would be definite no's. Anything that is borderline breaking the law, absolutely not. if you're a swimmer, unsafe behavior around water, you're ultimately a role model. There's a company in America a number of years ago, and they didn't mind paddling, a water sports company, showing kayaking photos out at sea when the person isn't wearing a life jacket, doesn't have a paddle leash. So, and they're in a place of authority, people are aspiring to.
Yeah,
so,
they have influence now.
Yeah, so if you want to be a role model for brands, you need to be a role model in life and in your sport. So anything that detracts from that, absolutely avoid.
Okay, great. And so you are obviously very knowledgeable on the subject. It's been great chatting to you. I believe that you're also running some workshops for young up-and-coming athletes who'd like to get into this sort of sports media zone but maybe don't need a bit of guidance or don't really know where to start. But I believe you're also planning some other exciting things in this space. How can some of our viewers, if they want to know a bit more or tap into some of your knowledge, what would be the best way to go about it?
I've been running an Instagram account which has got some basic, every week we kind of look through a different topic. So just with the absolute basics, just to get the thought process changed. And that has led me to interacting with a lot more athletes and consolidating all of that with my knowledge into an ebook, which should be available soon. And then with that, that's kind of the grounding before a workshop. To get
those are the first steps, and then once they progress, they can work with you in that workshop.
Correct.
Okay.
And then I'm doing some one-on-ones with individual athletes, looking through their profiles. But yeah, workshops and the ebook for now is the best way.
Awesome. Well, we will share all of those details with you so that you can get hold of Ray and that you can follow along and learn from his tips and tricks. We're not gatekeeping anything here, so we hope that you found this conversation helpful. And Ray, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for having me, Emma.
The number one thing that I've learned in social media is to be yourself. People love the real you. If you're inspired to start posting, don't forget to tag us at SuperSport Schools and at mchelius so that we can cheer you on. Our next guest is a powerhouse KZN-based swimmer, Jessica Carmody. She's already represented South Africa at 2 Junior World Championships, and she had just finished competing in the South African Grand Prix event in Port Elizabeth. We managed to catch her just before she dove in for the Girls High School Durban and District Gala. Get ready to meet the fantastic Jessica Carmody. I'm joined by Jessica Carmody, a matric student of St. Mary's DSG in Kloof, and the swimming captain for today's D&D Gala, which we're very excited about. But we're so excited to have Jess on Swimming on 216 to find out a little bit more about how her swimming has been going. Jess is a national finalist and medalist in South Africa, as well as representing South Africa at 2 Junior World Championships. Jess, it's so great to have you on Swimming on 216. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very good and I'm excited to get the D&D going.
Definitely. And we know that you've been racing quite a lot recently. You've actually just come back from the South African Grand Prix event, which happened on the weekend in PE. What events did you swim there and how did that all go for you?
Yeah, we just got back on Sunday from the Grand Prix and it went very well. I'm super happy with how I swam. It was a very good indicator to see where we're at before nationals. So I was happy with my races. I swam only 2 races, which was quite nice. The 50 and 100 free, and both went well. I'm happy with my times. And yeah, as I said, it was just a good indicator to see where we're at.
Definitely. It's nice to get up and race. You're still in hard training, so you are untapered. But nice, as you said, an indicator. And also to see lots of friends, catch up with people that you haven't seen in a while. So you've been swimming for a long time now. Let's take it back to the very beginning. How did you get into swimming as a sport? You know, did you start very young? You've been racing for a long time, but how did it all start?
Yeah, I'm not sure what age I started, but definitely, as you said, very young. And I think school swimming started it. You start at school and you just gradually carry on. And I think definitely for me, I've always loved it since I was little, so yeah.
So you've been a water baby from the start. I think most people start at school, like you said, and that's why these school events are so exciting and so important. And we're seeing future superstars in the making, just like you. So what are you now focusing on as you look towards nationals? Like you said, it's a good indicator, but what are you mainly focusing on in the next few weeks?
So nationals is a qualifier for Junior Worlds. I think it's in August, I'm not too sure. But I'm definitely focusing on my speed and my backhand speed because that's what I realized I need to work on this weekend. So I'm excited to work on that. Also just gym work, gymming hard and focusing on my fitness. And yeah, that's about it.
And so how, in a general week, what does your training kind of look like week to week in terms of scheduling all the things that you have to do, your gym, your speed work, all of that?
So I train twice on a Monday, and then Monday morning I have gym in the morning, and then Monday afternoon I swim. Wednesday, depends if there's a school gala or not, we train in the afternoon or sometimes race. Then on Thursday I train in the morning and gym in the afternoon. And Friday I do a double session, and Saturday morning I train.
Yeah, okay, so it's busy. And you're in matric, so there's just a lot going on. As you look towards nationals and you're kind of focusing on those things, which events will you be swimming and what are you kind of most excited about?
I definitely want to qualify in the 50 and 100 free. Those are my two main races that I want to be focusing on. So I'm excited for that. Probably also the 200 free I'll add in, maybe the 200 back. But definitely the 50 and 100 free are my two main ones that I'm trying to qualify for.
Okay, very exciting. And you've already represented us at the Junior Worlds level. You actually won a bronze medal as part of a relay for South Africa. What does it mean to you to wear the green and gold and represent your country?
Sure, that Junior Worlds was insane, and I think it really gave me so much motivation to continue and do my best so I can go again and again. So I'm excited to qualify for this one, hopefully. But to me it means a lot. It's a very cool experience to go and to represent your country, so I'm excited, and yeah, it definitely gives you a lot of motivation.
You are coached by Ange van Heerden at Aquazone at Cura and Hillcrest, and that's kind of your home pool where you've been training a lot, besides here at St. Mary's. What kind of wisdom does Ange impart on you? I actually trained with her for a few years, and she's such a special coach. What kind of motivation and inspiration does she give you as a coach?
Sure, she definitely helps me a lot mentally, and I think she always keeps me going whenever I'm feeling like, oh, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this. She always keeps me motivated, and she's a very inspiring coach. I think she's so knowledgeable, and yeah, she really is just the best.
I completely agree. I've had such great memories with her, and even when I have not been training with her, she's still been such a great support for me, so that's been wonderful. But now we are here at St. Mary's. You're about to dive into this year's D&D Gala, which has been such a highlight in the past few years, but now this is your last one. What does it mean to you that it's hosted here at St. Mary's and your home ground advantage?
I'm sad because there's no spectators to cheer you on, but I'm also very excited because obviously this is our school pool, and we know the pool, it's such a nice pool to swim in, and I'm very excited. It's my last one, so I think my whole under-19 team can say that we're really excited and going to do our best because it is our last one.
Yeah, and like you said, there's so much that goes into it. You've got your school friends and your teammates around you, but what is your kind of favorite thing about this event as a whole?
I think it's just the excitement. It's such an exciting event, and obviously we're all friends with the other schools, so it's quite competitive, but yeah, just very exciting, and it's a fun gala.
It is so much fun, and we're excited to watch you in the pool, watch your teammates, especially as the captain. You are really leading the charge, so it's going to be a really fun afternoon. Okay, Jess, so for the last few questions, I'm going to be asking you to choose from between one or the other. So this or that. I'm going to give you two options so the viewers can get to know you a little bit better, and then I'll pass the mic to you and you can answer straight as soon as you can. Okay, you ready? Okay, the first one, are you a morning person or a night owl?
A night owl.
Okay. Would you choose pizza or sushi?
Sushi, 100% sushi.
That was a quick answer. Okay, you're in the pool and just shouting at you to do the next thing. Would you prefer a pull set or a kick set?
Pull, I'm useless at kick.
Okay, if you're choosing a racing suit, are you choosing open back or closed back?
Open back.
Nice. When you are racing, are you goggles under cap or goggles over cap?
I'm goggles over.
Do you wear one cap or two caps?
One cap. I should just go straight in.
Okay, you're just winging it. All right. Would you choose Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok.
Last one. All right. If you had to choose a holiday, you get your 10 days off from swimming or 2 weeks or whatever. Do you choose a tropical or beach holiday or a holiday in the mountains?
A tropical holiday, definitely, yeah.
Always close to the water. Well, Jess, have fun at D&D. Good luck for leading your team. Thank you so much for joining us on Swimming on 216. We hope to see you around the pool soon.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
It's been great to chat to Jessica Carmody. We're so excited to watch her lead her team at St. Mary's here at the D&D Gala, and also for all that there is to come in the 2025 season and beyond. Thanks so much for joining us, Jess. And we still have some exciting guests lined up for you, so make sure that you stick around. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to Swimming on 216. This week I had the best seat in the house at the Girls High School Durban and District Gala, hosted by none other than my alma mater, St. Mary's DSG in Kloof. This gala is a super special one for me. I grew up racing at the D&D, and it's given me some of my most cherished memories in the pool. You are in for a real treat. Let's dive into the highlights of one of my all-time favorite swimming events on the school calendar. We are about to dive into such an exciting afternoon here at the Girls High School D&D Gala, and it's hosted by none other than my alma mater, St. Mary's. I'm a very proud St. Mary's Kloof old girl, and I'm joined by Mr. Jonathan Manley, Executive Head of School. Mr. Manley, welcome. We are so glad to be here at this beautiful venue. As you said, sports has always been a huge central theme in St. Mary's life. I remember my days of swimming here. It's been so special to be part of it. But there is definitely a legacy of swimmers coming from St. Mary's. Can you share a little bit about how you see that legacy being built and how you see it going forward?
Yeah, our motto or our tagline for our school is Inspired Girls, Remarkable Women. And what we know is that young people, when they see someone who is similar to them achieving and doing well, they are inspired and they know if they can do it, it's possible for me. And so we do have yourself, who's an Olympian, and Erin Gallagher and Catherine Meeklin. So we've got a legacy of girls performing at the highest level, not only in swimming like yourself, but in other sports as well. And it means that our girls know that if they work hard and they show commitment, anything's possible. And so it's lovely that we could have you here back today to just show what's possible and remind the girls that if they dream big, there's nothing to stop them. They can actually chase those dreams down.
It is possible indeed, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing some future superstars born right here this year at the D&D, so we look forward to it. Thank you for hosting us, and we're very excited for what's to come.
And thank you to SuperSport Schools for being here, because as you said, there are lots of spectators who would like to be here, and unfortunately because of the change of venue we couldn't host them, but SuperSport Schools is making this possible, so we are really grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mr. Manley. And we have one more interview coming your way from one of our head of sports at St. Mary's to talk a little bit more about this amazing event. I'm joined by Mrs. Jan Nicklin, head of sport of St. Mary's, as well as Pam Daniel, part of the St. Mary's sports department. Pam, you've been in charge of the St. Mary's swimming team. How are we looking for today's D&D Gala?
We've got such a brilliant team lined up for today. Very keen, very honoured to be swimming for the blue and white stripe this afternoon. So I'm very excited to watch them jump in, and they're going to swim their hearts out. I know it's.
Definitely. We are going to be seeing some future superstars right here at the D&D. It's so exciting to be part of it. I'm just thrilled to be here. Mr. Nick, I remember fond memories of swimming when you were in charge of swimming, and those are some of the happiest memories that I have. I'm sure it's no different for these girls. They're all brimming with excitement. How are you feeling about today?
Very excited, and it's just absolutely wonderful that we get to host D&D at St. Mary's. Our pool is an absolutely fantastic pool. It's known as a fast pool, so I hope today there's going to be some really, really fast swimming. But I do just want to add, I had the privilege of having Emma in my swimming team for 5 years, so I was super proud of that.
It really was some of the best years of swimming, I can say. Well, we're really excited. Thank you so much for joining us. We're glad that SuperSport is able to bring this amazing event to our viewers, to those spectators who maybe weren't able to join us today. But what a beautiful facility, and I'm so excited for some fast swimming. So yeah, can't wait.
So much, and thank you, SuperSport. We really, really appreciate having you here today.
So much to look forward to. Let's dive into the D&D 2025. With Kings Park Swimming Pool in Durban currently undergoing renovations, this year's Durban and district events have been moved to some amazing alternative venues. We've already seen the boys' high school D&D at Kuro Hillcrest's incredible 50-meter pool, and now it was time for the girls to make their mark. The girls' high school D&D took place at St. Mary's DSG in Kloof in their stunning 12-lane 25-meter pool. The switch to a short course format made for some electrifying racing, and all records were adjusted to reflect the shorter pool length. Race after race, the girls gave it their all, and it came down to a heart-stopping finish with just 2 points separating first and second. 7 of the top girls' high schools from Durban went head-to-head in an all-relay showdown, with Our Lady of Fatima, Durban Girls College, and St. Mary's leading the charge in a fierce rivalry. Fatima faced a tough blow with a disqualification early in the event, but the girls powered through with huge heart, fighting to defend their 2024 D&D title. The energy, spirit, and support in the stands were on fire, reminding us all just how incredible school swimming really is. The girls gave it their all, leaving everything in the pool. When the waters finally settled, it was Our Lady of Fatima who managed to hold off Durban Girls College for the overall D&D Gala victory. What an absolutely stunning performance from both teams. The hosts, St. Mary's DSG, finished strong in 3rd place. I'm not sure who was more excited about Fatima's incredible victory, their captain, Indiana de Villiers, or her parents. Swim parents are in a league of their own. They are always there to cheer on their kids and support them in chasing their dreams. My mom and dad were the cornerstone of my own swimming journey, and I truly wouldn't be where I am today without them. The Fatima captains clearly felt the same, and they shared a few special words about this event. We have just wrapped up the most exciting 2025 D&D Girls High Gala here at St. Mary's. Not the usual venue, but absolutely incredible nonetheless. I'm here with the winners, Our Lady of Fatima. These 3 incredible girls led their team to victory today. Can you introduce yourselves with your name?
I'm Taylor.
I'm Megan. And I'm Indy.
We watched 26 amazing events, and it culminated in only 2 points differing the winners, Our Lady of Fatima from Durban Girls College. It was absolutely thrilling. Girls, you swam your hearts out today. It was absolutely amazing to watch. What does it mean to you, Indy, to have your family here cheering you on as you swim your heart out for your school?
It means so much to me because I really love my family and they've supported me through my whole swimming journey, and they just helped me with all my swimming and training and getting.
And you can see it. I mean, the passion and the dedication that you need to excel as a swimmer, and you had that. You led your team amazingly well as the captain of Our Lady of Fatima today. So girls, what was the most exciting part of the Durban and District's Girls High School Gala today?
Definitely the ladder relay. It was such a good race. Everyone really stepped up to the table. So yeah, it was a really good race.
It definitely was. And I think that the spirit that came before that ladder relay was even more exciting. We saw the war cries, we saw the cheering. Could you hear that while you were swimming in the pool, some of the cheering, or were you part of it on the stands?
No, we could hear it from the water and they're super loud and our school's really good at war cries. So.
You really are. I love the part where you were singing your famous Fatima war cry at the end, celebrating by jumping into the water. Obviously, we didn't have the spectators that we would have loved at Kings Park. So to anyone who is only viewing it here on the video or live on TV, what would you like to say to them?
I just want to say thank you for watching. We love you guys lots and thank you for all the support.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, girls. Congrats to your team, to your coaches. You put in an amazing performance today. We are so proud of you. And we're excited to see what comes next for you girls as you become old girls and move on in your swimming journeys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations to Our Lady of Fatima, the 2025 Durban and District High School winners. They performed amazingly well, only 2 points separating them from a hard-fought battle ahead of Durban Girls College. Congratulations and well done to all of the girls who competed today. The D&D Galas are undoubtedly SuperSport School's standout swimming event, with the most school spirit that we've ever seen around the swimming pool. Kings Park is usually packed to the rafters, and the volume of the girls' D&D in particular is probably why Kings Park's roof needs replacing in the first place. We can't wait to see D&D back to its full glory in 2026, with the volume notched up even higher to cheer on our swimming superstars. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Swimming on 216, brought to you by Curo. I'm excited to see you next week Sunday at 7 p.m. and until then, just keep swimming.